The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders got that win last Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. That puts them one game back in the standings with the home game against them yet to come. Beating the Chiefs at home after a 2-game losing streak tells you a lot about this team. And the fact that the Raiders are 3-0 with and 0-2 without 2020 number 12 overall Henry Ruggs tells you what he means. He makes quarterback Derek Carr better. He makes tight end Darren Waller better. He makes all the receivers better. He makes running back Josh Jacobs better. That's why the Raiders are scoring a little over 30 points per game and are over 500 at this point in the season. But if the Raiders are going anywhere this season, they got some stuff to straighten out, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. But it really isn't that hard to fix. Just one minor change in the scheme and a few changes in the lineup, and this defense will be going in the right direction. And we can really start talking about just how far this team can go. Pro Football Focus had Damon Arnett as the best press corner in this 2020 draft class. He makes you fight for every inch to run your route, and he's disruptive at the catch point. But he's not great in off-man coverage. I think he loses his urgency and aggression. He's so far laid off here, this should have been a touchdown if the receiver would have caught the ball. Then his welcome to the NFL moment comes in what? Off-man coverage. All 75 yards of it. Last year, Trayvon Mullen has his welcome to the NFL moment in off-man coverage. The route recognition just isn't there. He started to pick it up a little bit as the season went along. But he truly arrived when the Raiders started putting him in press man coverage. He made it hard to get off the line of scrimmage. Those long arms served him well out there. He's rough on this rep. Watch the jam here. He started to look like a shutdown corner down the stretch last year in press man coverage. Then they started him this year in a lot of off-man coverage. And that's easy work right there. Look at the separation he gives up here. I understand playing a little zone, a little off-man, but come on. Don't just continuously give things away like he does here. Press man is where Mullen is at his best. As a matter of fact, that's where he's the best. Pro Football Focus has him as the best press corner in the NFL right now. And you can see why, because it's hard to get anything on him. So the Raiders really need to stay in press coverage a lot more. Now something needs to be done about Eric Harris at the free safety position. I mean, he can jump a short route. But you got to be able to defend the back end of the defense, and he doesn't really do that very well. If you can't defend the long ball, you got to at least be able to make the tackle at the end of it, right? Nope, can't do that either. He jumped a couple of short routes and got interceptions, but he repeatedly showed that he is not capable of defending the back end and making the tackle at the end of it when he can. So what do the Raiders do? Start him at free safety this year. And he still doesn't have the range to stop the deep ball or the ability to tackle after it. And that's how you get big plays made on you. Watch him get fooled here. Oh. If the ball was thrown right, that would have been a touchdown. Now, if this ain't the last straw, what is? Alright, look for the ball, look for the ball, look for the ball, look for the ball. Come on, man, look for the ball. It's time to see what Jeff Heath can do. I said this offseason that the Raiders secondary is exponentially better with the acquisition of Heath at safety, but they gotta play him. The Raiders need to stop playing with Maurice Hurst. When he was a rookie, he got a sack in week 2, and his reward was 9 less snaps the next game. Then he gets a sack in week 4 to seal the victory, and his reward is 14 less snaps the next game after that. After this sack in week 10 against the Los Angeles Chargers, he gets 6 less snaps the next game after that, and he got a sack in that game. The Raiders only had 13 sacks as a team that year, and Hurst had 4 of them. Not a bad number for a defensive tackle with not that many snaps. Then in week 5 of year 2, he gets 2 sacks against the Chicago Bears. And yep, one of them was to ice the game away. He even forced this interception that was called back by a bogus penalty. And he got 6 less snaps in the next game after that. Here he is in week 10 against the Chargers and he gets a half a sack. And 7 less snaps the next game coming with it. Then in week 13, he gets another one against the Kansas City Chiefs. And guess what? His snap count went up from that point on. Now we're in 2020 and he gets this sack on opening day. And oh, by the way, he's still not starting because the Raiders signed Malik Collins, who's not doing jack this offseason. Now here he is in week 2 of this year against the Saints and he makes a play to change the game, forcing this interception. The good thing here was his snap counts were going up until he hit the COVID list. Here he's going to bat a pass down because he couldn't get there. And despite being 6'2", he's batted down quite a few passes over his career so far. Like I said, he's only 6'2", but he has good timing and anticipation and has good hand-eye coordination. This is Russell Wilson right here, so he doesn't have to be 6'6", 6'7" for this one. But again, his timing and anticipation are impeccable. He's also very alert, so if someone else deflects one, he is ready to make a play. Oh, you shouldn't get hit that hard by a quarterback. Now we're on to 2019 number 4 overall Cleveland Farrell, who got a sack in his first game as a Raider at defensive end. What a beginning, right? But then they started experimenting with him at defensive tackle, and that was it's a different game inside, and Farrell didn't really handle it all that well. He did have the illness and the weight loss, but most of why he didn't play up to his draft status was the experimentation he was undergoing at defensive tackle. Then by week 10 he was at full strength and playing defensive end very well. He showed some handwork and a little bit more bend than I expected from him. And a little push-pull to tally 2.5 sacks on the night. Then he was scratched again against the Los Angeles Chargers in week 16, and that gave him a disappointing total of 4.5 sacks his rookie season, leading him to vow that he would come back a different player in 2020. And he showed up at training camp noticeably bigger, stronger, quicker, and faster. But back to defensive tackle on passing downs he went, and but he showed he can do a little something on the edge. Here in week 3 against the Patriots, he's going to crash inside and show some tremendous closing speed, and Cam Newton isn't easy to close on. And watch this little inside move, which can only be done if you set him up with speed. Then in week 5 against the Chiefs, he rushed from the edge a little more and rewarded the Raiders. Here he gets a hold of the quarterback for a minute and sets up a sack. Then he gets what would have been a sack if Patrick Mahomes weren't Patrick Mahomes and pushed for a gain of 1. But Farrell gave left tackle Eric Fisher problems all day. Oh, the spin move. But Mahomes gets rid of it quick for a completion. Then here he forces an incompletion with his relentlessness. Here they leave him unblocked and throw quick, but he bats it down. Now we got another spin move, and he pressures Mahomes into a sack by Max Crosby. Here he's going to beat Fisher again and chase him all around the yard. And at the end of it, it's incomplete. I gotta admit, he looks pretty good on his snaps at defensive tackle. But the majority of his career-high 9 pressures came at defensive end, including this disruption that resulted in an interception. Switching things up is cool, but you gotta let players do what they do best, and Farrell is best at defensive end. The Raiders just drafted the best press corner coming out of college and have the best press corner in the NFL right now. So what covers do you think they should stay in for the most part? And how many big plays need to get by a free safety before you finally sit him on the bench? What else does your best 3 technique have to do to become a starter? And how much longer do you want to experiment with the number 4 overall pick at another position when he's already good at his natural position? It's time for some changes. Thank you for watching. See you next time.